Surprise, I'm alive. Shocker, right?
There we go. Alright. Guess we're rolling. Time to get started. I want to turn the lights off. I can't. I also need to pee, and I can't pee. The cutest cat in the world is sleeping on my lap right now. It's the eternal struggle. What am I supposed to do? Move her? Oh, hang on. No, my credit card information is open in that window. That was not smart of me. It could have been bad. Here we go. Our Blinx. Whose Blinx? Your Blinx. My Blinx. Our Blinx. Not just anybody's Blinx. The people's champion. I should really grind off stream, come to think of it. Hang on. Wow, really? Since when is that true? When did I get all those? I guess that's not all of them though, is it? It's just until the next reward. I got no fucking money. Let's grind some of these levels and get more gold. Where's the gold at? I can pick those up. That's something, right? It's not the highest level of vacuum. What the fuck? They fell through the spot. Why is that allowed? Does that count as getting it? I don't think so. Maybe I should reconsider. That's where all the fucking gold was, though. A lot of gold in this level. If I'm farming gold, I kind of have to do the levels that have the most gold in it. I wasn't crazy about the temple levels. I never liked them because they're closed in. The open world levels were the most fun for me. Although at the same time, they never got too big either. I got no excuse. Really? I have almost the best vacuum. I guess if I'd used the log on him, it would have been a one-hit. Water monsters fear logs. That's science. You think it's stamped in there enough? Maybe another minute or two. Fucking... Oh, I can get a pause. Just get started on a rewind. I could have gone through that gate. Fuck. Did I miss out on something? Nothing good, hopefully. Look at me forgetting what I'm here for. Farming gold. Trying to get them cat medals. That doesn't, oh yeah. Doesn't one-shot him. Dr. Seuss looking ass. Oh, I could have just skipped through here. What would the point of that have been? Save time? Avoid enemies? Doesn't seem like it would accomplish either one. Why is that there? Well, I'm sure the pro Blinx players can tell me. Just make sure I haven't misunderstood. Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Cat, I know you're warm. I know you're cuddling. I need to move my leg though. Fine, get off. Finally, I can get up. Oh man, oh my legs. Oh my legs, pins and needles. Sleepy cat, she's so heavy when she sleeps too. Cats can change their weight. I swear to God, when they're like in ready to pounce mode. Am I upset? Yes, I am upset about Blinx too. You just reopened a very old wound. What the fuck was that furry bait shit? Like, make your own Blinx. I don't want to make my own Blinx. I want to play a tight, focused mascot fucking Scott Former. That's what Blinx is. What is this bullshit? What is this fucking Sonic Adventure 2 bullshit? For every like 4 bad ideas, there's one good idea, like letting you aim your vacuum, which was appreciated and should have been in the first game. None of the other shit should have been in any Blinx game. I don't even know what a good sequel would have looked like. If you think about it, where was there left to go from there? Blinx kind of depleted the whole concept over the span of a single game. How many time control platformers can you do? I guess get more clever with the puzzles. Mayhaps. I talked about the idea of putting Blinx on a new console that has a rotary dial in the controller, so you can have more granular control over the flow of time. That's the only way I see it being worthwhile. Oh, that took away record. I keep forgetting about that. If you get too many of one type, it takes away another type. Fuck! I need those. Come here, fuck. I'm gonna end that. Not fucker, not fuckface, just fuck. Look at the size of that tree. Surely this is a one-shot. Oh, I wasted it. That's why you need to be able to manually aim. If you can't manually aim, then it aims at the monster you don't want to use it on. Blinx, yes. Although that's very telling. Nobody under the age of 40 remembers analog dials as anything other than the paddle from Atari. A lot of arcade games used analog dials, and they were capable of feeling much better than that. A really big, heavy analog dial, like the ones audio and video editors use as a USB peripheral, feel very nice to use and have a lot of applications. That might surprise you. It's more versatile than you think. That saved my ass. And since you're using the dial to control a video timeline, it makes sense for a game like this. Oh, fuck! And nothing was learned. No lessons were learned. Nobody got any better. Oh, it's a death loop. It's a death loop. It's a fucking death loop. Cool. After wasting 2 of them. Consoles need gimmicks. They need at least one gimmick. Otherwise, the question is, why should I buy your console instead of playing on PC? I want to see a different vision of what gaming could be. PS1 had 2 different controllers with rotary dials. One was the Neg-Con and one was the Jog-Con. One of them was made by Namco and the other was, I think, Bandai or some shit. It's used for driving games. Not a rhythm game, like a train game, I think. Driving games are a killer app since people don't commonly have enough room for a full steering wheel setup. There's an interesting implementation too. One of them had the wheel in the middle of the controller. You twist the whole controller, which I thought was clever. It's really hard not to accidentally activate it though. Oh, fucking get the cat medal this time. And a bunch of gold, a fuckload of gold. Ray, whatever that means. He sounds so excited too. Listen to this hairy little retard. Am I trapped in here? I have plenty of more. You need 2 pauses to get this one. That's expensive for cat metal. Can you think of any other time control games? I know there was one on PlayStation 3. Haze or some shit. It was a first-person shooter, so-called Halo killer. Because you couldn't just be an FPS at the time, you had to be a Halo killer. Or Fade or some shit like that. Like, the guy had a yellow helmet. And its whole gimmick was time control. I think what scratches the itch about this is it's a platformer, which I like, but it also has puzzle elements. I also like puzzle games. I like to think a little bit. Ah, fuck, right in the spikes. Nope. I can't get the timing down. I'm cutting it close. Made it through, farmed gold, got a cat medal. I just uploaded a New Hampshire video. Not about any habitat stuff though, just where I'm at in my projects. I didn't double check it. Hope it's okay. Don't go watch that. Watch me. Don't watch me. Watch me. Fuck you, cat lady. There's a lot of porn of her. Not that I looked it up for my own enjoyment. I was doing research for the stream. It's not well done either. It looks like an I don't want to say it. Like an amateur teenager on DeviantArt did it. Yeah, I was cutting it really closely. I got a lot done today. Tomorrow I'm going to go... Oh, this happened last time too. What the fuck, deja vu? It's exactly how I died the first time I played this level. I completely forgot you save a princess in this game. It's like the weird situation from Sonic 06 where it's a human princess and a furry character is like half her height. There's a human princess in Blinx. That it has no relevance to the story. I guess you just have to rescue somebody. As if saving the timeline wasn't important enough. There's gotta be a helpless woman involved. Is that at Japan? Is that at Japan? Oh, fuck. Don't you steal my gold, asshole. That was the biggest gold piece. Who do you think you are? Did I get to keep the gold that he dropped? He picked up a big piece. He might have dropped it over the pit, though. I don't think I can safely get there. Yeah, there it is. I'm not trying for that. Well, oh, every time I die in the worst possible way. Like Blinx falls out of orbit, burning up in the atmosphere to the earth below. Let me distract the enemies. Zoomers will probably be like, what's that sound? What are those lines? What does that represent? Don't you kill me. I don't have any hearts left. You better not. Let's see. One of these. I'll have one of these. And I'll have not enough for that. Fuck. Almost. All that was for nothing. Tried so hard and got so far, but in the end it doesn't even matter. I don't know why I became Irish there. I guess because it sounds like the guy from Cinema, the Skrillex song, who sounds like Pickles from Deathclock. In turn, it's a 6 Degrees of Pickles game. Fucking. Did I like this world? I don't remember liking this one. No, I didn't like this one. I liked the fact that levels were larger. Didn't really have any identity, though. Shop like. I get more time holders. Level 1. I already have that. Do I not have that? Should have saved my money for the best vacuum. Do we get a lot of gold from the bosses? Let's try this. They reused this guy a lot, didn't they? Just 200 gold every time he kills me. Time is money in this game. Holy shit. Oh fuck, again? This is not the easy money I thought it would be. Yeah, baby. Also, am I wrong? Blinx is a really iconic character. It's made by the same guys as Sonic, so big surprise there. They have a lot of duds. They have a lot of characters that don't really resonate. That haven't stood the test of time. Blinx has enough going on as a character with the vacuum and the Y2K fashions and this big ass sneakers and the goggles and the green eyes. He's not a one-trick pony. He's very defined and distinct, and I think an iconic platformer that deserved more than the 2 games he got. Maybe actually he didn't. Maybe he should have only gotten the 1 game. Why don't you like Blinx 1? I could understand not liking Blinx. I could understand not liking Blinx 2. Blinx 1 is a perfectly pure, straightforward, simple, crystallized gameplay concept and its best expression. Some people didn't like the time limit. Is that the issue? Actually, that did give me a lot of gold. Let's grind the boss. Looks like a Muppet. It's like those sections on game shows where they shower you with money, but you have to grab it all in a hurry. I guess that's a good complaint. That's a valid complaint. Not a lot of effort, not as much effort went into the enemies as went into Blinx. You don't want to make it too scary though, because this is the Xbox Kids game. But they do look like a Sesame Street Muppets. I like some of them. I like the low tier enemies. I think are good. Like they make you want to hurt them by being all goofy and googly eyed. The higher tier enemies look like Muppets though. I'm not crazy about them. Like the bosses, for example. There are some good boss designs in this game. Not all of them are bangers. The slow gameplay I get, but again, we discussed last time why this couldn't be Sonic because the time control gimmick doesn't really work with super fast movement. I think it was a little unfocused. There's like why is there a princess? What does the princess have to do with anything? There are things that could have been improved. I like the character and I like the gameplay concept. For the most part, I think it's pretty Kino. It could have. That's actually a good, really good point, and maybe where they should have gone more with the sequel is more creative time puzzles, like Blinx Portal. They do have some of that, but it's not very good in Blinx 2. Like the time puzzles in 2 are really rudimentary, and there's only like 3 or 4 types, and they're repeated over and over. His voice also needs some work. He'll always have a place in my heart, though. I think he's an iconic character. He had a great game. Stages are cool, level design's cool. Time demons could have been cooler. Oops. Well, that was quick. Guess I need to waste some money on hearts. Really? Fair enough. Indeed, yay Blinx. Blinx won, the good one. Maybe I'll try to get into Blinx 2 again someday, but I really was turned off by it the first time I played it. Let's try some of the other bosses. I even forget what this one was. You're not missing anything, Nedist. It's like the sonic forces of Blinx. Oh, whoops. Got this one's tougher. You don't get as many time crystals either. Where are the bombs? Oh fuck, come on, really? Oh, you can get him from behind. Okay. That evens the score somewhat. Have you seen the Unreal 4 engine Blinx fan remake? Yeah, links aren't allowed in chat because there were people spamming vote buying services. If you can spell it without the, like with spaces, try different spaces, I guess. Fucking, I hate this guy. There we go. I managed to get an average of 300 gold every time. Oh, I'm gonna check this out right now. Upheaval. That entertainment. Oh, sick. Wow. This looks really good. Cannot read property build of undefined. Evidently, you don't have your game set up to be downloaded through the desktop itch.io app. I forget how to do this every time I don't know the details of publishing the itch. But evidently, there's some kind of option you toggle so that it hooks into the or maybe it did work, I don't know. It is working. I take it back, I'm stupid. Hang on. Let's play his. Let's play this guy's game. How do you not... I guess nobody fucking knows it. Everybody's surprised to learn that it exists. It's like Steam for indie games. Wow, this looks really, well made. This looks like it uses the assets from your... Where's the fur shading on his ears? Where's the fur shading? Upheaval? There's barely any. 0 out of 10. Something feels weird about the physics and animation. I don't know. Graphics look worse. It is. I'm being overly critical. I'm always overly critical at first. I can't change the direction of the thumbstick. I can't pin down what's wrong with the movement. The control curves are not the same. I think it's the lack of inertia. He feels weird to move. He doesn't stop immediately. He moves immediately when you push the thumbstick in any direction. And the texture just moved with the object, by the way. That's better. Why can I kick? He can kick. Why does he kick? This feels weird. The textures are also N64 tier. Why are the textures so bad? Why does he move so fast? Why does the blob move so fast? Sorry I'm being picky. I know I've never made any games. The physics of motion are weird. Take notes. It's 100% more. He bounces too fast. Way too fast. Crystal shaders don't quite look right. Texture is too low resolution. This can't be how it looked when you ripped it from the disc. The other one looks better, although the other one is weird in its own way. The other one has really overdone. What's the word? Parallax mapping. Where's the TomTom battle? I don't see a TomTom. Gate glows correctly. No points off for the gate. Gate looks correct. How does this look worse than the Xbox game? Good particle snow. There's only one stage and a boss. Are you having a giggle? Rip the model and tweak it a little bit. Do what Pal World did. Vacuuming looks correct. It's correct sound effect, correct rumble, correct feeling. Force feedback is appreciated. Makes the controller rumble. What the fuck is that thing? That's not the boss. What is that? This is what Mom telling you with Blinx at home. Incorrect effects for rewind. No VHS scan lines. Needs the scan line effect. And Blinx should be the same color during the effect. He's the only thing not red. Thank you for telling me about the invert camera movement. That's not a good reason. Easy. Nothing good comes easily. Blinx doesn't feel like he's running, he feels like he's skating. He also doesn't have the animation when he turns around quickly, which I think the Xbox One has. It doesn't feel connected to the ground. I don't know what they do differently. I think it's the control curves. If you can figure out what... The other one feels perfect. The other Blinx fan remake. I appreciate Blinx content. Keep working on this. This is like 75% of the way there. I was criticized brutally over like the last 10% of polish, which is an unreasonable thing to do because it's already so good. As an amateur project, this is really impressive, frankly. But nobody in life is gonna give you congratulations for what you get right, unless you get everything right. They're gonna criticize what you got wrong. I appreciate the things on the left and right so the aspect ratio stays correct. The other one doesn't have that. You need more stages. Insufficient stages. This looks terrible. This looks like Nintendo 64. The number one thing you gotta get right is gameplay. Game feel. Game feel is not correct right now. Feels like a stock Unity platform movement. There's idiosyncrasies to how a character moves in a platformer with specific inertia that makes it feel like what it is. And it doesn't feel like that right now. It feels like it feels the way those budget off-brand cereals and bags taste. Also, this is not the correct asset. There's already an asset in Blink for crumbling platforms that you could have ripped and made use of, and this is not what they look like. You already very clearly ripped the Blinx model. That's too authentic. So don't be shy about ripping other models. Microsoft doesn't give a shit. They didn't stop the other one. The other guy got away with it, so will you. Use AI. Don't be shy. Don't be shy, use AI. Button doesn't work. They bounce way the fuck too fast. That's not how the buttons work in Blinx. You step on them once and they go all the way down. It's binary. You have the iframe when they're about to attack. The flashing white is correct. That's a detail that would be easy to get wrong. Where do I go now? Quicker transition for that little pop-up. It takes a little bit too long. Textures are too low resolution. I like what you're doing, and it needs to be done for reasons everybody else has already gone over. This is a game with a lot of potential for really creative puzzles, and we're never getting a remaster. So it's up to the fans. There's a huge fan community for making entire new total conversions and level sets for Mario 64. There's like there's for years and years, all of that has condensed down to like 3 or 4 actually really good ones, like Mario Star Road and Mario The Last Impact. And there's now one for Mario Sunshine called Mario Eclipse. But not enough people like Blinx for that to ever happen. There's just not a big enough fan base. Somebody, a really passionate fan is going to have to do that. I get you. Thumbstick motion is slightly more sensitive than in the actual Blinx. Reduce sensitivity slightly. It should feel for fans coming off of the main game who want more of it. It shoots bubbles just like it does in Blinx 1. Very good. Good job on that. That's not the right button to activate that. You change the controls for how the time control works. It's the B button brings up the time control menu. That's nothing like how it works in the regular game. The textures move with the object, which is really weird. It shouldn't be that way. There's a setting There's a setting to prevent that in the 3D modeling application, I believe. The right button is B. Logs look mostly okay. I'm a little bit off from the models in the actual game. Honestly, though, yours are slightly better because the originals were made with Xbox limitations in mind. Gold looks weird. I don't know why. This is a shader. You know what I think it is? I think you have a specular shader on your gold. It's not an environment map, or if it is, it's too low resolution. In Blinx, it's an environment map. It's like a cube map, so it pretends to be reflecting the environment, but it's yellow tinted. I hate that. That feels really bad. So make the gold look right. It's also a slightly darker tone of yellow. I appreciate the new levels. I almost want to say don't bother imitating their original levels if you can help it. Because it's a sequel. This is cool. This is a cool in-level detail. Seems thematically appropriate. Get better at level design. Make levels that look as good as the originals. Do these break on impact? No, they don't. Good. That's correct. He overshoots a little bit. Gates look correct. Are the gates environment map? No, they're not. These don't look right. They have the appearance, but that should move around. That's a cube map in the original. Impacts aren't exactly the same. Oh, like Sonic Mania. Fair enough. Gate effect looks spot on as usual. Good use of these. I don't think we even got a spinning thing. We got the swinging blade in the original. You're making more use of the time powers. That's cool. Longer than I thought, Naysayer. That's a good idea. He's asking how long do I think it'll be before the writer and director can make a movie without any other talent. The tools are more rudiment. As impressive as the tools are, they're not as advanced as they appear from the final product. A lot of editing is required. Not only a lot of editing on after you have the footage, but a lot of takes, iteration to get the actual shot that you want. And on top of that, you can't always use the shot that looks good because you have to work within the limitations of the lip sync software, which only really recognizes clean-shaven faces and does not currently allow you to paint over where the mouth is, like the motion tools on Runway. So you cannot tell the AI where the mouth is in the picture. You have to let it guess, and it often guesses wrong. And beards confuse the fuck out of it, as you saw from Flickr. It's definitely it's in the early stages. It's got a long way to go. Eventually it'll be a lot like the tools you see in like Photoshop, or I guess more like After Effects. It'll have an After Effects like suite of tools attached to it. And I think the final form of these tools might just be plugins for existing video editing suites. I do think a director would need a lot of technical knowledge to make a movie that was any good. 5 years to when somebody who has detailed knowledge of the tools can make their own movie and have it look reasonably good, how they want it to. 15 years until it'll actually do it all from text. Yeah, 11 Labs is something I toyed around with, and I even used it experimentally in 2 for $1. I didn't like that was the best result I got from it. I don't like it. I think it's better to use RVCG UI. Do you know what RVCG UI is? It's where you provide the voice and it masks your voice like a voice changer to somebody else's. That lets you be like the puppet. Lets you be the hand inside of Kermit. Giving it indication of where you want emphasis, what inflection to use, what intonation to use, whether you're shouting or whispering, stuff like that. That's not a big deal. Almost everybody has a voice. It's free too. RVCG UI is free, and it produces a better end result. The main narrator voice and the father's voice in Flickr was done using RVCG UI. To give you an idea, I used a couple different approaches. I used a scattershot strategy, trying a bunch of different tools on the first 4 videos to see which one people liked. People didn't comment negatively on the voice in 2 for $1, but they did say, "Why is he British?" Which is a valid point. The British one was the only one that was totally varied enough. The others all sound like video game voiceovers. I didn't even know there was more than one Blinx fan game. Oh, spooky, spooky. Vacuuming feels correct. I don't have any criticism for the vacuuming. You don't need to change anything on that. It even does a little puff at the end. There should be a message that says not powerful enough, I believe. When you can't suck something up. Boulders are slower than that. Those look not terrible. They're recognizable as what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to take 2 hits from a medium-sized object, though. Let's see. So I learned something about my cat. I made her the nicest fort, the nicest little cat nest, and she rejected it. Because it had padding, it had cushions. What I didn't realize about my own cat is that she doesn't like soft bedding for most of the time, unless she's cold. I think what she likes is flat, cool surfaces. Which is why she sleeps on top of the microwave. about half the time, and on top of the shelving unit the other half of the time. Get on there, you little shit. Well, Mr. Naysayer, that's what RVCG UI is perfect for. It has... people have already pre-trained celebrity voices for it. You just have to download the pack. Let me take a moment to show you. I'll demystify it for you. Hang on. This will be an educational episode. It's like Python or some shit, so a command window has to open every time it runs. I don't know what the deal is there. Here's the application. It's available for free. RVC.GUI. The dash is not, I believe, in the title. I don't know what that stands for. Real voice code or some shit. Let me navigate my file tree. So I input my voice. Which is a has to be WAV for some reason. Which meant I had to transcode a lot of my audio. And these get different results. I get best results with Crepe. I don't know why. This has the fewest static pops and the fewest breakups. Retrieval based. See, here comes Short Talk with actual knowledge. Here's all the voice models I have. Einstein, Alex Jones, Arthur Morgan. Here's Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption, I believe. Click here. It's much, much, much more lifelike than 11 Labs. 11 Labs has slight intonation, but it's like a steady road that has no increase, no hills or valleys. You know what I mean? It has no real severe intonation differences.
Shut up! Shut up! Listen to yourself. Don't you know what I do for you? For this family? Someone has to go out there. Is it gonna be you? If not, someone has to keep house while I hunt.
Alright, that's Arthur Morgan. Mario 64, that'd be funny. Till Lindemann doesn't work very well. Or let's see Wario. This is where AI really shines. Not replacing humans, but using humans as the puppeteer.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Listen to yourself. Don't you know what I do for you? For this family? Someone has to go out there. Is it gonna be you?
It's not perfect. It really helps if you do an impersonation of the character you're trying to recreate. I think if I turn this up, it'll be more Wario, though. This is the degree of blending between the original sound file and the character.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Listen to yourself. Don't you know what I do for you?
It's only slightly more Wario. Middling results. Eminem. Jack Black. Let's see Jack Black. It's this easy. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. This is much less labor intensive because you can use your own voice to guide the AI. That's the key is humans providing something for the AI to paint over.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Listen to yourself. Don't you know what I do for you? For this family? Someone has to go out there. Is it gonna be you? If not, someone has to keep house while I hunt.
That's his interview voice, though. That's not a singing voice. Let's do Eminem. You may notice these are not great, and that's true. A lot of them aren't great. I had to hunt quite a bit to find a good one.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Listen to yourselves. Don't you know what I do for you? For this family? Someone has to go out there. Is it gonna be...
But you don't really want it to sound like the actual celebrity if you're using it for ebook narration. You want it to sound like some distinct guy. Alex Jones always sounds like Alex Jones, though, no matter what you do. He's one of the ones who reliably does sound like his voice model.
Shut up. Shop. Shut up. Listen to yourself. Don't you know what I do for you? For this family? Someone has to go out there. Is it gonna be you?
No problem. I'm glad to help. It's Short Talk who pointed me to RBCGUI in the first place. This is vastly superior to 11 Labs. Unless you're doing bulk reading. Because if it's a large amount of text, then you're doing a lot of work reading it with your own voice. If you don't really care about the performance, and you just need something to read things out to you, maybe 11 Labs still has a use case, but I don't see how for making videos. Anyway, back to the main event. That's why I also want every AI to be more human directed. I don't want it to do everything for me. I want it to do the hard parts. I want to be able to point the AI to a mouth and say, this is the person in the scene who is talking. Don't animate anyone else's mouth. Animate this person's mouth. And I could have a conversation between two people in the same shot if it would let me fucking do that. It needs to be... This is a weird thing to say about automated animation, but I want it to be more human controlled, which seems to defeat the purpose, but it's just finding a balance between having human input and having AI do the heavy lifting. Does that make sense, or am I talking shit? Vacuum looks good. Model needs more fur shader. It needs a lot more fur shading. Camera needs to be slightly less quick. That's not an object I can vacuum? Why not? You just know it's fucking Luddites who shut down the voice model Discord, too. I hate those people. In part because I want to side with them. They have a lot of really good points, but I can't side with them because they fucking brigaded me, and now I hate them. Which is a really petty reason to choose a side on any issue based on. I should be better than that, but I'm not. That's not the animation. They also have more spikes. Oh, you copied that one. Cool. Good job. You get the monster cross off on the upper right. I getcha. Death animation is authentic. Correct sound effect for that at least. The trash collection GUI in the lower right looks more or less correct. You should have the original game open every moment that you're working on this. I support you continuing this though. If you get it nailed and make it available as a basis to add on to, then fans can create their own level packs for it. Having more trouble with the textures moving. I see. Also, could use some new mechanics since it's Blinx 3. What about sucking up fire or water, like in Luigi's Mansion? You can copy a lot of mechanics from Luigi's Mansion. Come to think of it, because he's got a vacuum. Honestly, your way makes more sense, but that's just not how the original game did it. It's a weird thing to have happen. This looks familiar. This happens quite a bit in the games. It's not what the bombs look like when they blow up. They have a transparent white expanding sphere. Monster models are placeholders. They need redoing. That's a glitch. That shouldn't be like that. Sorry I'm so critical. This is already amazing. Problem is where the bar is. You're not just making a game to be compared to itself. You're making a game that will be compared to the source material. I kill everything but one. Where's the last monster? Oh, there he is. Didn't go well. What does he even say when that happens? What's good, Butterbeer? We're playing in Blinx Fan the game. I didn't even know there's more than one. Oh, the monster doesn't respawn when that happens. I guess I'm glad this time. The wizard is either standing on long, thin legs, or he's standing on a staff or something in the original model. The placeholder doesn't look the same. This is a problem with running anything by me. I'm hypercritical. I'm very detail-oriented. I notice things, though, so I'm a good playtester. Yeah, there's 2 fan games. This isn't even the only one. Let me tell you, it looks better than it plays currently. It ticks all the major boxes. It's just details. Oh, thank you. So there's items in the crate, apparently. Well, I think I just died harder than anyone else has ever died before. Nobody's been killed that hard until now. Xbox looked better than this, though. It's a solid start. You should not give up. You have good ideas, and it's coming along. This is the start of. This is the basis of something special. He doesn't pause very long between attacks, does he? Doesn't have enough delay between his attacks. I see that, but they're hard to get. There's not enough delay between the before the thing falls. Over the hitboxes. This is why you have people playtest. Even up here, he got me. Oh, that type of rewinding shouldn't make the pillar come back up. I don't believe. I know the core issue here, though, is that your boss monster needs more of a delay between his attacks. He recovers too quickly. Being defensive doesn't help that. I'll go buy some hearts in the shop. This is not what the shop looks like. This is not what the shop looks like. Needs more of a delay between when he finishes attacking and when he starts his next attack. He's right on me the whole. You see the issue? He's almost as fast as I am. He can recover from attack almost immediately. He can pass through the pillars. I can let him go further. That helps somewhat. What's good, LT Holy Lane? We're playing a Blinx the Time Sweeper fan game. And struggling. You keep your hearts in between tries, that's authentic. I shouldn't have to do that. You should fix the boss. There we go. Even while he was recovering, he was still able to move. Watch this. No, this is not. This is running on Unity. This is an itch.io fan game, like I said. Let's keep trying. Nope. I'm getting him. I can do this. Fuck. One more time. There we go. Oh, fucking thank God. Watch me get fall off the edge now. The gold should disappear on its own in 5. This is the gold. Yes, the gold. Okay, gold disappears. Good. Good. That's a good detail. That's authentic. Microsoft hurts. It's rough around the edges, but there's a lot here to indicate future promise. Half and half world. This looks new and interesting. Oh, yeah. Does he have a shield? Is that a thing from the original game? Do I need like a fast forward to hurt him? Yes, I do. It was a star originally. This does look pretty Xboxy. I don't know if it looks like it belongs in the OG style though. Like the OG style had more like wacky, warp, twisted shit going on. Like Dr. Seuss aesthetic. Seuss punk, if you want. It still feels wrong controlling the time control that way. You know what this looks like is mist. This is like a real mist. Your value proposition is Blinx the Time Sweeper, but more of it. And crucial. Oh, I love the birds. Crucial to that value proposition and delivering on the promise is that it feels exactly like Blinx. The most important thing is that Blinx looks just like Blinx, which you need to touch up the model a little bit. And number 2, the Blinx controls exactly like Blinx. Otherwise, it doesn't feel like more Blinx. It feels like its own weird game that looks like Blinx. Does that make sense? Kind of like how if you want to make a Mario fan game, you got your work cut out for you because you have to make it feel as good as a Nintendo-made Mario game. Mario has to feel exactly like Mario, otherwise it feels bad and weird. gonna go check the comments on my video I just uploaded. Make sure my wiener wasn't hanging out or some shit. What's up, Frag? One moment. I uploaded a Hampshire video.
Surprise, I'm alive.
Let's see, there's an Arizona green tea in view. Salt and pepper. Solar backpack. There you are, Mr. Naysayer. Now you know about RBC GUI. Broadly speaking, for every AI tool on the web right now that requires you to pay for it, there's a superior free version you just have to know about. Inshallah, Hampshire shall be brought to fruition by Allah. This isn't the time for this. But I was just playing Blinx anyway. Yeah, that's the issue too. If you want to do horror with AI, there's a lot of stuff you can't do because of censorship. Like, I couldn't do cybernetic gore in Runway. It just wouldn't do it. Leonardo would, oddly. Even though there's a lot of stuff Leonardo also won't do. Ultimately, I'm going to have to learn a lot more than I'm comfortable learning to make this work in the long run. If I want to, especially if I want to adapt some of my gorier stories or some of the just longer ones. I'm going to have to learn how to run a local model of one of these AIs on my PC. Oh, good to hear it. Frag says he invested in Nvidia and it tripled the value of his stocks. Glad someone's benefiting. I mean, we're both benefiting. I'm benefiting creatively. Hang on. Okay. I've addressed things as much as I care to. Changes his thumbnails. Kenny Lauder. Oh, I know that guy. Wait a minute. He did? Anyway. I see people still be talking shit about me. I wish I had not made so many enemies on the internet when I was a teenager. That was a whole chapter of my life, being a well, actually, internet atheist. Mostly debating creationists on forums. Remember forums? Remember when people posted on forums instead of image boards or social media? And secure in the knowledge that I was totally anonymous and could never be found, I was really, really rude. Like, unbelievably cruel and rude. At least to hear them tell it. I didn't feel that way at the time. To some evangelical creationists. Christian fellows. Remember what was his name? What was that? Venom Fang X. Do you know who I'm talking about? That was the kind of guy I would argue with all the time, and that was how I spent my time. I thought that was important. I don't remember why. I thought I was doing something good for the world. I don't know. There's a lot of logic that made sense to me when I was younger that doesn't make sense to me as an adult. Like console wars. Why were console wars important to me? Why did I think it was important to stand Nintendo once upon a time? Why was my identity bound up with brand loyalty? Oh, I already got that one. I spent a lot of my time, not just my time, but like my psychic energy, so to speak, on console wars and religion. I guess when you're an autistic teenager, you feel kind of like baby Superman. Like parts of you mentally are not very developed, especially your emotional intelligence and your empathy. But your technical intelligence is very developed. It's at almost an adult level. So you have a edge on other people when it comes to reasoning and argumentation, which frustrates them very much. But you're also less empathetic, so you're not very tactful about how you argue or the topics that you choose to argue about. Was that ever you? Don't leave me hanging here. I couldn't have been the only annoying autistic teenager who made a lot of enemies. I was never like the Amazing Atheist level of Tism, but I was pretty contentious. I made a lot of arguments where there didn't need to be any. Yeah, the bigger issue was just forgetting that there was a human being on the other side of the screen when I would do that. To me, they weren't people. They were just a collection of positions. And if the position was invalid, then the person behind it was invalid. I've grown as a person since then. I'd like to think I'm like the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz who grew a heart. And I hope my opponents were like the Scarecrow. I cringe not because of the topics or anything, but because of just what I value as an adult more is the human attributes I lacked most as a child. I guess just the grass is always greener. I don't ever want to hurt people if I don't mean to. And I was very unintentionally hurtful very often. I didn't see what the big deal was for a long time. I guess that's not unique to me or even to autism. I think that's more just teenagers. Teenagers are sociopaths very commonly. I may as well start over then, huh? Well, I feel like the OG game was more forgiving. There we go. You just gotta sneak up on him. The other thing was just wronging people and not understanding why they were angry or upset. I had to wait for my brain to develop years later to realize that I was in the wrong in a lot of those situations. And had been hurtful to perfectly lovely people who didn't deserve it. I made a big list of things that I did wrong in the past. Even little stuff, like the first and only time I shoplifted, which was for a bendy Spider-Man figure. And my parents found it and asked me where I got it, and I had to take it back and apologize. But to their credit, they made it into a teachable moment. They're pretty good about that. They didn't just say, "Don't steal or you'll go to hell." And they didn't just say, "Don't steal or Santa Claus won't bring you any presents, or we'll bring you coal instead." They said, "Don't steal because if everybody stole, then the store would have to close down and we wouldn't be able to buy food." Which is a better lesson, I think. That's more grown-up morality than appealing to supernatural punishment or deprivation or rewards. I mean, I think a lot of religious rules that they justify with just don't think about it and do as you're told or you'll go to hell have practical justifications that they would be better off teaching instead. Like there's a verse in the Old Testament about how far away from your base camp you should go before taking a shit and how to be hygienic about it. Like doing it into a hole and then burying it. You can't tell me that that's spiritually significant. You can't tell me that the God of the Jews was really particular about how people shit. There's a practical reason for that has to do with not spreading disease. And that's true of most of the rules, like how how to isolate women when they're menstruating and why not to eat pork or shellfish. Because in a pre-refrigeration society, you're playing with your life when you eat pork or shellfish because they very often have parasites. So a lot of those rules are good and they're based in reality, but they're designed in such a way that if somebody is too stupid to understand the real reason behind them, you can just scare them into following them anyway. Which is maybe a feature, not a bug, at some points in history. I remember Pastafarians. Pastafarians didn't really accomplish anything. The whole point was just to communicate how weird a religion sounds to outsiders if you're not raised in it, but I don't think the target audience understood that. Or if they did understand that was the intention, it didn't look that way to them. It wasn't very good messaging. A better version of the same thing is just to point at other religions and say, hey, look at how these people look to you. There's millions and millions of Muslims, and you can see that they're mistaken from the outside, but they can't see that themselves. Or maybe I should just not... I can't skip this. How do I skip? Oh, there's a checkpoint. That's handy. Was that in the original game or not? I have no memory of that. Alright, that one took 2 hits. That's, I think, accurate. Stay on the fucking button. Blinx will kill you. I tried to skip, it didn't work. It was grayed out. I like the little animation when you can't use the time control. This is a fan game. It didn't look this way. This is running on Unity, which is why it's widescreen. That's a testament to the quality that people who don't play it frequently can be fooled into thinking that's what it is. I hear the little noise and feel the rumble when you lock on. That's a nice detail. I don't know if that's authentic to the original or not, frankly. You deserve more credit than I'm giving you. You missed some things, but you got other things that I didn't even notice. Gotta go back to get the monster. Aha. That'll be worth it later. So you're using a grid-based height map. That's a double-edged sword. Grid-based height maps cut it in like 2001, but it produces weird geometry like this. There's another HD remake which is actually better than this one, but it's weird. The visual style is strange because the guy went ham with the shaders. Yeah, you know, he knows the other one I'm talking about. The other one does a better job of getting the physics right, but it feels much better than this one, but it looks stranger. Like it has fucking shaders at the ass, like it's Crisis. Where the fuck is the last one? Did I miss something again? Yeah, no, this is one of the original Xbox games that is not playable on anything else. Or if it is, it's through a backwards compatibility mode on 360 or Xbox One, which works passably well. Grab by the Ghoulies is another one like that, but there's at least a way to play that one in HD widescreen on the Rare Collection for 360. But that's the only other way to play it. This one would be the best if the controls were tweaked. That's the number one thing you should take away from this, is that you should play a lot of original Blinx on emulator and study his reactions to thumbstick motions and his inertia. That he doesn't immediately start moving when you move a thumbstick. And how quickly he stops when you stop moving it. And his transitional animations between different motions. You gotta get the main character moving exactly like he does in the console game. If I die right now, I have to start it entirely over. That's the game plan. Everything else can wait. Everything else I've identified as superficial. It's fine as placeholder graphics. Yeah, even Stubbs the Zombie, which was another great... Xbox OG had a lot of great games that people overlook. Okay, PS2 was the GOAT of that generation, no argument, just by virtue of the software support it received. That doesn't make it a great platform. Xbone was a great platform, and it had a couple of really uniquely great titles. It's very much like a Dreamcast Mark II. In terms of the type of games that it got. And what happened to its sales. And how it was perceived. That's true. It had the best multiplats. Did that one log just destroy the other one? Early 360 games didn't look next-gen, either. They looked like Xbox OG games in HD. That was one of the costs of being so far ahead of the game with the first Xbox. These games looked partially next-gen. And then when the next-gen came, 360 was the weakest next-gen console. So it was, again, the closest to the division between generations, and it had to restrain itself graphically quite a bit in order to hit HD, and it wasn't even really HD. A lot of the games were 630p, which is not even quite 720. I like that it kills all the smaller enemies. That could have been really frustrating. That would have been an amateurish detail if you still have to mop up the small enemies after the boss. little quality of life stuff like that's really appreciated. Like in how in Metroidvania, it's how once you cross a challenge to get an item, the item is an ability that makes getting back over that gauntlet trivial. Like doing a platforming challenge, and then at the end of it, you get a jetpack or something, so you can just fly over all the platforms. All the VODs get uploaded to my Hamdad Plays channel, so that's where you'll find this. I think I'll go back to the OG one. I'll come back to this later. I would play the other fan remake, but we've done that before twice. Hang on, bathroom break. You know, I might be the only one who cares about this franchise anymore. The ultra rare non-Sonic autist.
Surprise!
I'm back, baby, and about 5 pounds lighter. Ask me about Hamdad's amazing weight loss plan. Dump your way to a beach body with masterful, majestic, mighty dumps. Let's get back to OG Blinx. Much as I liked that fan project, as impressive as it really was, frankly, it feels weird and wrong. If Microsoft didn't hate money, they already would have given us a Steam port, or at least a Windows Store port. I guess they have no motivation to, because they're still trying to sell Xbone to people. When they eventually give up on the console business, maybe then we'll get ports. Do you think it's too soon for an Xbox Mini? We haven't even got a... I don't think we got N64 Mini yet. Probably too soon. Let's try this one. Trade-off is this doesn't run as well being an emulator. Did this have that fucking SpongeBob game on it that apparently every Zoomer played? Every Zoomer seems to have played the same 10 games. It's really weird and makes me feel bad and hollow inside when they say this was literally my childhood, and that's like, I remember being an adult when that came out. That can't be your childhood. Where does the time go? Fuck! No! I'm not ready to die yet. I have so much left to accomplish in life. I did get some pushback on the video because of my use of AI. It's really divisive right now. Maybe I should have waited. What's good, Nettis? Do you think I should have waited for things to cool down with respect to AI versus Luddites before I started making use of it? Because I pay a price by being at the tip of the spear. I run the risk of being one of the faces that people associate with the medium if my stuff blows up. And that's the best case scenario if my stuff is successful. They'll be like, that's who we need to attack. They're very motivated people. I know it sounds silly. I know it sounds like a trivial thing to be scared of, but this is a thing people are very emotional about, and strong human emotion is not trivial. It's a force of nature. I think there's room for compromise, and we can regulate AI. You're right, it can't go away, but it can be regulated in a way that makes everybody not happy, but less pissed off. The reason I'm optimistic about it is my own experience bears out that an AI-only approach doesn't produce good output. That it will be outcompeted by hybrid content, which is an AI-assisted human. who performs the role of Imagineer and directs the AI to give it a human touch. So I think, to some degree, not to sound like a libertarian nerd, the free market will not solve the whole problem by itself, but contribute to a holistic solution. The other half is regulation. I'm not anti-regulation. I'm a regulation minimalist, but I do think some government involvement is necessary here. Because otherwise we run the risk of having a zero employment society before any... You just fucking know we're not getting basic income until there's riots in every city. Until shit's being burned down every day. Like they're gonna try every possible alternative to giving people money until they have to give people money or we'll kill them. Basically. Because everything about how state and corporations have colluded until now has been directed towards ensuring the flow of money is always upwards. Never downwards. That doesn't reverse overnight. It's kind of an encouraging sign, but also makes me frightened that even billionaires are agitating for some kind of basic income now. That means that things are really worse than they appear. They're worse than I'm aware of. For billionaires, the people who have made it an art and a science out of keeping money out of our hands and into their hands, to be saying those kinds of things means they know something that I don't know and that you don't know. It's got to be worse, even worse behind the scenes. They must be privy to developments in AI that we haven't seen yet, and they're ahead of the game. From what I've read, we're about to start seeing humanoid robots, quote unquote, in real life, by which they mean walking around outside and doing stuff like deliveries. I hope I don't get fucking censored for that off of Twitch. I'm not saying that's the right answer. I'm generally a non-violent guy, but I'm just saying that people who have the Reddit Pollyanna perspective that everything's going to be just like in Star Trek, that we're going to get free money to sit around and play with Legos and Nintendo Switch. Not without a lot of fighting. No improvement to the common man's quality of life, be it working hours or benefits or healthcare, has ever come without a huge fight. Oh shit, I should get ahead of the game. There's bound to be a YouTube channel of tweakers fighting robots as more and more people are displaced and target the robots as the cause of their misfortune. And the robots will have to then improve in order to defend themselves in terms of agility and strength. It'll be an arms race between tweakers and robots. Tweaker versus robot. Tweaker versus robot. One is a tweaker, the other is a robot. Tweaker versus robot. That's the lyrics to the song. It'd be like bum fights, except like RoboCop versus Terminator, except instead of a cop, it'll be the opposite. I think that's kind of what has to happen, though. People have to jam a wrench in the gears and say, no, you're not just going to replace us and then leave us to poverty with no prospect for improving our lives. You can't do that. There's a tendency in Silicon Valley tech bros, from what I've seen from interviews, to think of the human masses as passive and not a real tangible barrier to anything. Like, people can just be worked around. People can't be worked around. Billions of angry, hungry primates are a force of nature. It's a tsunami of meat. I say this as an autistic person. I know myself well enough to know, especially when I was younger, I didn't take seriously the insurmountable political barriers to the realization of certain plans for the betterment of society. I thought, oh, that's nothing. It's not quantifiable scientifically or in engineering terms, so it's not a real obstacle. It is a real obstacle. People are a huge obstacle. We're almost nothing but obstacles. We're very beautiful and strange obstacles, but nevertheless, we're very stubborn. We're famously stubborn and famously violent. So if your plan doesn't have a way to take into account human nature, then it's doomed to failure. Look at communism. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you. I don't know what the solution will look like. I'm not, I'm good at nitpicking. I'm good at identifying flaws. Like Marx. Marx was great at pointing out flaws in capitalism, but he was not great at devising workable solutions. And making everybody a slave of the state was not a workable solution, it turned out. That's an understatement of the century. All of hell fits within that sentence throughout the 20th century. Unfathomable human suffering. People have got to be... It's got to be by and for the people. Or you're going to have a lot of suffering, or you're going to have a lot of pushback. You can't force something on people that they don't like that doesn't help them. How does it work, though? My thinking is, not that you asked for it, but I'm not in favor of basic income. I think it's unnecessarily wasteful and directionless. I would have to see a study that shows that you save more money by giving out basic income indiscriminately, by bypassing and I guess eliminating the IRS than you would by. I guess you can't eliminate the IRS because they still have to exist in order to tax everybody else who's still making income. So you have to have the IRS in either case. Negative income tax leverages the existing IRS infrastructure to determine from tax information who needs the money and who doesn't, and how much each person needs. So below a certain amount of income, they give you money instead of you paying them. I also think for this to work and be tolerable, we would need to defeat the TurboTax lobbyists and have taxes work in America the way they do in every other country, where the government figures it out for you. So my plan is a negative income tax funded by the consolidation, number one, of existing benefits all into one payment, which eliminates bureaucracy. Unfortunately, also eliminates a lot of jobs. And by a tax on the productivity of robots for companies which employ them. Enumerated by the number of... You can't just make it humanoid robots, because then they'll work around it by making other shapes of robot and combining a bunch of robots into one and sneaky shit like that. So you have to have a way of quantifying man hours, or an equivalent unit for robot hours of labor. You have to get really granular and specific, or they'll find loopholes. Math fail. It's funny how fucking behind we are. Normally I'm the first to shit on Reddit tier anti-patriotism, because we have things pretty good. But there's also some things we're way behind in because we make life so easy for the wealthy, and they make life harder for us on purpose because they make money from it, like TurboTax. Just think about even one simple thing. Imagine how much better your life would be if you never had to do taxes. If they just fucking sent you a bill. By itself, that would be a huge improvement. I don't know what I was thinking there. There's a platform down there. What the fuck? Hang on. Hang the fuck on. What's that down there? Why is that down there? Oh, that's secret bombs. I would never have found that on purpose. Yes, like a weeb. If we tried to tax automation based on a per humanoid robot, what they would do is they'd make a long lower body. It would just like a block that sits on alongside a conveyor belt, and you'd have a bunch of humanoid upper bodies sprouting out of it to do like quality control and assembly. Or they'd have like a bunch of humanoid arms coming out of a wall or some shit like that. You have to think of every possible way to abuse the law, because they're not about paying taxes they don't need to. That barely hurt him. What was the point of that? Where am I supposed to use those bombs? This is where it gets really tricky and stops being a kid's game. I replied to Kenny Lauderdale again. I suggested Minky Momo for Smash with Speeding Truck Assist Trophy, which is really witty and funny as hell if I do say so myself. I'm tooting my own horn a little bit, but that's okay. I'm just a musician like that. Toot toot. Yeah, shithead, eat that. Yeah, no, it took me until I was I'll say 20 to beat this. I just picked it up and put it down and picked it up and put it down. I never beat Zelda 64, Ocarina of Time. I also never got very far in Majora's Mask, even though that's what I bought with my first paycheck. No Crash Bandicoot? Fuck no. Haha, happy, funny Bandicoot game. That has some hair-pulling levels, though. There is a remaster, isn't there, Spyro? I do own the remasters of both Spyro and Crash. I think someone gifted them to me. Can I make that jump? I can't. There's just no way. No fucking way. There we go. I can use... Do I have another one? I don't think so. Oh, I'm supposed to use a time frozen boulder to jump on to get the cat medal. Oh fuck, almost. Well, that didn't work as I hoped it would. Oh well, I wish I had saved a pause for this. Whoa! I wasn't really impressed with Crash Bandicoot until 3. Because I had a Nintendo 64, which had such a glut of great platformers, that not until 3 did Crash have the feature parity. This is a fucking ball-busting stage. It's good, isn't it? They chose good games to remaster. I would have been fine with the PlayStation. I guess if I would have missed out on Mario 64. Which would have been unacceptable. But PlayStation owners were not deprived. PlayStation owners had plenty of great games. even in the genres that N64 normally shines in. 3 just had the most going on. 3 felt like the most complete game. It had the most minigame levels, and the minigames were mostly good. Like the jet ski. Did he just suicide? He had so much to live for. He was a productive, industrious time monster. Oh, there he goes. Never mind. Did he really have that much to live for, though? Let's be honest. His whole life is just hopping around in that spot. I can't make it connect. I really got lucky that one time. Let's try to pause it at exactly the right time this time. No! Fuck! Well, that wasn't ideal. Actually, what if I do this? That skips everything. Could have saved myself a lot of headache. That was a legal move the whole time. Why do you like Crash 2 so much? Crash 2 felt not different enough to me. I like the new level hub. The whole rotational thing. I beat it. I rented it and I beat it. I didn't hate it. Part of what made PS1 so dank, yes, that's right, I said dank. That's the right word for it. In the 90s was just having a CD player in your room with a visualizer and having shit like demo discs. You couldn't really have demo cartridges for N64. They would send you VHS tapes to show you what the game looks like because cartridges were too expensive to just give away. Not PlayStation. PlayStation was great if you were broke. If you're a broke-ass kid, which I was. You could just play nothing but demo discs. You wouldn't fucking... Remember demo discs? Remember playing them as if they were your main, like, game library? Playing the same demos like 4, 5, 6 times, which for games that were designed with a lot of replayability wasn't actually not that bad. Gotta remember playing the was it Macross or Robotech or something like that? It was like the Jet Robot game. Over and over and over and over and over and over. Over and over and over. I have the theme song from that Japanese band burned into my brain. Get free, Kirotsukaru. Get free. Romi something hare. I don't know how to speak Japanese. Get free, Bushkamikone. Get free, Irakotson. I'm probably butchering it. I don't actually speak. That's just what I remember it saying. Na 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 na. Whoa, whoa, something, whoa, get free, it's, I think by a band named Butterfly. It looked like $1 million too. It had a really good, PS1 didn't have Mode 7, but it had, or VDP ground planes, but it had a good enough hardware that didn't really need it. So they could render a whole city underneath you as a ground plane, and it looked really convincing. Hey, this time I actually have enough rewinds to do this. You're really not dying, are you? Ba-na-ba-ba. Ba-na-ba-na-bum-bum-ba-ba-na. Ba-na-ba-na-ba-na-na-na. Get free, get free, get free. Oh, this has to be bomb. There we go. That's the one I couldn't do before. It requires a specific item. Which is why they give you so many of them. If you can be more selective, won't you vacuum up? That would also be greatly helpful. Whoa, whoa. That was the coolest shit in the world to me at that time in my life. Just a Japanese rock singer and a transforming robot jet fighter flying over a city shooting cluster missiles. Oh, Big O's awesome. Did you know Big O was animated by the same team as the Batman animated series? Which is why they're so similar. Big O is just Batman Mecha. And that's a winning combination. It's only amazing it took them that long to think of it. Where the fuck is... Did I kill that thing? I killed it. There's a... Oh, fuck the fire monster! You have to kill the fire monster. Oh, god damn it. You gotta be kidding me. You don't have a choice not to kill the fire monster. Wish I'd known that. Well, I guess time to restart the whole fucking level, because you can't skip that guy. I don't know why I thought you could. Well, that didn't work. It's good, Ash. You missed the Blinx the Time Sweeper fan game. We're playing the original again. That's a good thought process. Unfortunately, they weren't that creative with the vacuum in this game. The obvious next step would have been to let you suck up different materials and use them. Blinx as a franchise never got to that point, I don't believe. It could have just been Microsoft's ripoff of like Sonic plus Luigi's Mansion, or they could have copied gameplay mechanics from each. Well, that didn't work. Does he regenerate into a fire monster if I don't kill him in time? Yes, he does. God damn it. Well, that's all my work undone. I guess I have to also switch the bridge in time. No, I tried bombs earlier. To my surprise, bombs don't actually damage him more than a regular object. It really should, but apparently fire monsters are resistant to bombs. Like, why would that not have worked? Why would could they not simply... It's like the Sonichu of game series, where they just combine attributes from two other popular series unapologetically. But they've also got the time thing, which makes it unique. It's not just Sonic with a vacuum. It's not just slow Sonic with a vacuum. Even though it's mostly what it is. Okay, there's exactly enough items to take him out, but not to switch the thing and then kill him. Oof. Are there secret bombs I'm missing? There are secret bombs. I'm stupid. Let's try the bombs again. I'm gonna look like a stupid asshole if it turns out this was the answer, because I have a clear memory in my head of it not causing... See, look, it causes normal damage, right? You saw that, right? It doesn't cause any more damage than the regular objects. I'm not crazy. Later, filthy weeb. Oh, fuck. You have to... No, you have to be perfect with every single shot. I'm gonna come up short again. I wonder what they're for too. There's one bomb switch in this level that requires a bomb. If you don't have one, then you're just soft locked. Okay, now looks like we have enough this time. Here we go. There we go. Killed him. Wow, what a fucking ordeal. That's my least favorite enemy so far. Except for the giant one, looks like a furry inflation Sesame Street Muppet. It's hard to hate anything more than that. Got a lot of people on tonight. Newcomers too, especially. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We're all mad here. We all float as well. We all float down here. Oh, nope. No, you fucking don't. Nice try. I got the medal. I got the medal. Remains to be seen whether I'll be able to beat the level with it. No! Oh, hey. There's a medal down here, too. I did that on purpose. Witness my powers. That was all on purpose. Pro gamer strats. I might need another one of these. fuck? The purple ones take 3. That's something to keep an eye on. I remain adamant that there needs to be some kind of mini game for aligning crystals, because otherwise you waste way too fucking many of them. And he just fell into the abyss of hell. Hell doesn't exist enough in platform games. There's Hell and Conquer 64. You just go to, well, it's Hades. You go to Hades if you die, and you have to make your way back. I just think it'd be funny if you had like a cute cartoon character like Blinx, just screaming and burning for like a split second. Like not a huge cutscene, just like 1/10 of a second of him flailing around on fire and screaming. We're still in the time crystals. I didn't know they cared about that. I thought it was just gold. Oh, he leaves if he gets what he wants. Fair enough. Did I skip a lot of monsters? It looks like I did. Let's see. Oh, that's where they are. Never mind. Shit. I forgot about this. You need a rewind. I don't have a rewind. I got 2 of the medals though. That doesn't seem. Does not seem. Why is this one level so fucking ball-crushingly difficult? What does this game have against my testicles? Ah, here we go. I might just be able to clinch this one anyway. I want to focus on getting some pause items though for those conveyor belts. I got lucky this time. That could have been a soft lock very easily. Well. Some of these tracks slap though, like unreasonably hard. Some of these tracks are way the fuck better than they have any right to be. Oh! Oh fuck! Oh man. Oh, my anus is twitching. TMI. Well, that wasted all of my fucking items. Very effectively. I have all the hearts in the world and I don't need any of them. I also don't have any pauses. Wasn't able to get any. That's a problem. See if I can put together paws. I can put together a record. I can put together half of a pause. That's not enough. That's not enough. Ooh, what about a slow motion? No, I can't put together slow motion either. Not enough crystals. Shit. This is gonna be tough. Well, this is gonna eat up all my hearts, isn't it? Can't believe I fucking made that. Oh, can't believe I fucking made that. Holy shit. But wait, there's a metal down there, isn't there? Oh, it's not accessible from here. You know what? Fuck it. That's the best I'm gonna do, realistically. I'll come back when I'm feeling more competent. So if we ignore the AI apocalypse doomsaying, what's a more realistic view of the future? The realistic view is you can have like one guy in a room with computers, and he can be the sole creative director and executor of a vision to create a feature film. Probably it's still too much work for one guy because AI requires there's a lot of different tools. Technically, you could do your own game now with all the different tools that exist if you mastered Unity, Blender, Photoshop, Mudbox, and whatever other tools you wanted to use for your game. But realistically, how many people are good at all those tools? So you might still need a couple people who specialize in the different tools. And I think there will still be a lot of compositing. Like, AI will be used to get certain elements, but there will still be a lot of work to put things together exactly how they're supposed to be for the film. Unless AI gets ridiculously better than I think it's possible for it to get. Which it may. I mean, I'm not going to limit it to what I think is possible. Oh, here's our cutscene. Here's our great prize for all the hard work we did. It's the Gitmo pigs. They're reenacting that one photograph. You know the one. And it counted for nothing. Our workload just got bigger. I think it's a positive thing, because one of the reasons movies fucking suck now is they're made by committee. They're designed by committee around financial returns. If movies get cheaper to make and can be made by smaller teams of people, they can stay true to a particular vision and can take bigger risks. There's always more. It's never ending. What do you... Just, like, imagine what kind of movie Ola Lily would make. Legend of the Platform Masters, the feature film. It just means we get more and better, potentially. At the cost of the early examples looking kind of wonky. feel nothing for these blobs. These blobs killed my father in Vietnam. They know what they did, and they're getting what they deserve. Oh, fuck. That's true. Marketing is cheaper now, too. Just, I mean, to make it. Access to people's eyeballs is still expensive. If we can only all work in marketing, the problem's solved. You could compare it to how the proliferation of easy-to-use game-making tools resulted in the explosion of the indie game dev scene, which resulted in a lot of games, but also better games, because they were able to take risks without breaking the bank or angering investors. How fucking dare you? What? How now, Brown Cow? What are you gonna do? Remember the guys who made the Iron Sky? They started out just as a group of CGI hobbyists making Star Trek fan films. The more people who are able to create, the wider variety of creative visions we receive. That seems indisputable. That means more crap, but also more treasure. That's true also, though. That's working against my case, is that the easier it gets, the less you have that effect where people working within limitations often make solid gold. How could you have both? I don't know. I don't know you could. Maybe you have to choose one or the other. Yeah, you're right, Okay, 5 billion games on Steam, 99% are shit. That means 1% aren't. 1% of 5 billion is quite a lot. Now imagine 50 billion games on Steam. 99% are still shit. But the 1% that aren't is 10 times bigger. What an exciting time to be live. Also scary. Exciting and scary times. It's really difficult to talk with people about because I've been talking about this shit since 2008. No one took it seriously. Everybody laughed at you if you said AI was going to do anything significant soon because there weren't very many good examples of AI in everybody's life at that point in history. Nothing, you couldn't really point to anything and say, see? I think also that plus wishful thinking led to people dismissing it out of hand. It's like how, for much of the American public, physics didn't get viscerally real until they saw the atom bomb. Until they saw some shit like a mushroom cloud, their physics was abstract and conceptual. When they saw that it had that kind of power, it's like, oh, this is real. Physics actually does describe reality. And has power. Physics has power. Physics is control over the forces of the universe. one of these fucking things again. Even Siri didn't really make it real for people. Everyone was like, oh, huh, that's kind of neat. When they saw image generation in its infancy. All this shit has been foretold. The first spin gravity space station was designed, I believe, by Konstantin Tsiolkovsky or whatever the fuck his name was, in 1908. All the physics was worked out ahead of time. Smart guys were working this stuff out way before it became possible to actually implement. You could argue, in fact, if you want to be semantical about it, that the concept of the space station dates back to The Brick Moon, a short story by Edward Everett Hale from 1838, I believe, of a giant brick sphere that was airtight that was launched into orbit using a big ramp, which is stupid, but it was the concept of an artificial satellite with people inside. Well, that didn't work out. No. Driver. Ryan Gosling in Driver, but as a kart racer. All the other characters are also Ryan Gosling, but from other roles. Like Barbie, Ryan Gosling. I'm not gonna make it this time. Burn, you little turd. Alright, he is slow. He's a little bit slow. Bitch titties. Is that it? Yes, that's it, okay. Oh, 3 monsters to go. Fast forward is actually slow motion, by the way. They don't tell you that. I'm about out of time. Don't fall now. Oh, bitches, I made it! Yeah! I haven't seen a lot of concerning papers, though, about how AI scientists are declaring that AI has some kind of genuine understanding and ability to generate information not within its training set of data. That it conceptualizes things and that it engages in art and genuine creativity. That, plus two other pieces of news, one of them having to do with Deep South, the neuromorphic supercomputer that's supposed to have the same number of... I don't know how they measured it, but it's equivalent power to the human brain. I think wild shit is going to happen when they combine neuromorphic computing with LLMs. Because LLMs seem to imitate how humans think, and neuromorphic computers imitate how the brain is structured. It might still not be conscious for all I know, but I think it'll come way closer to convincing us that it is. How much do I need for a special vacuum? Oh, there's elemental vacuums that do fire damage. I can't afford it though. I need the 16,000, otherwise I can't pick up the 16-ton weights. I'm fucked then, because I've had character today I pretend to be Goofy and Donald while I made them do gay shit together, and then I executed one of them. No, wait, I made Goofy kill Donald. I didn't do it. I didn't do it myself. I'm technically scot-free. Gosh. Hope he has a sense of humor about it. That's the Skynet fella. That's what you would think, to LT Holy Lane, but the paper I saw indicates they're able to now generate information not within their training set, which would be creating new information. Is it good? Everybody's fucking playing Pal World. Is it actually that good? Or is it just the unquenchable thirst for a Pokemon MMO on PC that they're tapping into? Can I make it? No, wait, no fucking way. No way can I make it. I'm not trying it. Hey, I have to go off a cliff. You don't tell me. That's cool. That's fine. That's fine. That's good game design. Actually, it is kind of. It's just dickhead game design. Remember that? Remember how common that used to be? Sadistic devs making impossible challenges that you had to know about ahead of time? Remember how common that was in, like, NES days? Where the dev just hated you? Or he didn't hate you. He was just a scamp. He was a mischievous scamp. Oh. Alright. Oh shit, I need 2 records for this. Well, I might have to restart the stage, but before I do that, I want to see if, experimentally, if Rewind will reopen the door. No. Okay, confirmed. Rewind does not cause the door to open back up again. Even when they weren't Kaizo, They were just intentionally obtuse and brutally hard. And gosh darn it, that's the way we liked it. Oh, fuck. Do you think there's like a mile deep ocean of just Blinx corpses in the bottom of these pits? Or not even corpses, like most of them are skeletons. Because of all the times they've died. Biomenace wasn't that hard. I liked Biomenace. It was Kino. Monster Bash was kind of unfair. What happened to Biomenace? Duke Nukem's thing was fighting aliens. And Dr. Proton. Snake Logan? Snake Logan, I want to say. His thing was fighting mutants. Nope. I need a rewind. It absolutely requires specific powers to get through this part of this. We've made progress tonight, though. It wasn't all me banging my head against the wall. Duke Nukem 1 wasn't that good. Wasn't that great of a game. I still play it on my 486. Duke Nukem 2 was great, though. It still is great. It kind of should have got a Super Nintendo port. Would not have been out of place on Super Nintendo. Except for the family. I guess it wasn't really inappropriate either. There's all cartoon violence. All the assets would have ported just fine. Or Sega Genesis would have been fine, a good place to play it. Oh, well. I have one rewind. I have no records. They don't give you what you need. That's what this does? Holy shit. That's not slow motion at all. Those alien bastards jerked me off for the last time. They didn't even charge up their JO crystals. They were just doing it for fun. What do I need for this? What do I need for this? This one opens that door. And it's on a timer. It'll close eventually. I need slow motion. And I need record. Which means I need to go grind other levels until I have those. Mine and Precious Moments is... I don't want to say shit. It's not bad. It's just really hard. It is really hard. I want to go back to levels I actually enjoy. I forgot how hard this gets. Damn, those alien bastards catfished me by dressing in drag. I didn't let that stop me, though. I gave that alien bastard and that he'll never forget. Oh, I can't be the first one to think of that. Do you think ever, remember in Looney Tunes cartoons? When Bugs would dress up like a sexy lady to mess with Elmer Fudd. Do you think he knew? And how far do you think Bugs would go with it? Doc, I got something to tell you. It was just me in a dress and a wig all the whole time. Shh. You're not Bugs to me. You're Esmeralda. Beautiful jewel of the Nile. We'll always have that night we shared. You're as much of a woman as I want you to be. Don't ruin the fantasy of it. Yeah, he tricked Elmer into gay marriage. But did he really? Is Elmer maybe smarter than we give him credit for? I like to think he wasn't stupid, he just pretended to be stupid so he could play along with it. It's crazy to think that there was a whole segment of my generation that saw that and didn't get the joke, and they were like, can I do that? Is that a way for me to live my life? Is that a real thing people can do? Well, they made it real. Look at those dreams come true. Don't let your dreams be memes, folks. You want to trick mentally challenged hunters into marriage without first disclosing your biological sex? You do it. Slay, queen. Like, if it had been like a once or twice kind of thing, it'd be like, alright, yeah, it's a gag. But Bugs did that a lot. He also owned all the outfits. So he very regularly shopped at women's clothing stores. We also never saw if Elmer was married. Frankly. What's the advantage of fast forward? I want to say you just don't get hurt. Oh, that's how you're supposed to get the cat medal in the temple. Fast forward. I didn't put that together until now. I used to listen to this on my iPod. My first iPod. Should have been in like high school or some shit, I think. That was long ago. I thought that was the coolest shit when I first saw it. The iPod was magic to me. With a touch wheel. I need to record. I still haven't got one. I'm not probably likely to get one before the level ends either. Yeah, but it feels less special now. Being able to do anything at any time is paralyzing. Having infinite choice of music is paralyzing. I tend to listen to less music now. Used to be I would try new music just because I got sick of listening to the same music over and over on my 32 megabyte MP3 player. Now I listen to like the same 10 tracks just because I'm scared of all the choice. There's a lot of products now that exist only to counteract that effect. There's like a Neo typewriter. It's a writing device with an e-ink display with Wi-Fi that you can switch on or off, just so you can get writing done when you go to Starbucks instead of getting distracted. It's like intentional downgrades. Like the cyberpunk equivalent of being Amish. Amish technology, if you will. Seems like there's room in the market for something like that for video games too. Some kind of gaming device that limits the availability of games until you've beaten the ones you have. Lets you organize your games in tiers and lock away the ones you might wish to play until you've beaten the ones that are in the selection. Like it gives you like 3 at a time. 2 or 3 at a time based on your settings, and has a password system where it only unlocks and lets you make modifications once every year or something. Your kid is a child of a dark future. You joke about that, but I got jelly when I saw somebody scored a Pioneer Laser Active at Goodwill. Although Goodwill knows what their shit's worth, they didn't used to. They charged the guy $500 for the Laser Active and no guarantees it worked. Needed recapping. It used to be you could swindle Goodwill. I found my 5200 Atari and my I didn't buy it, but I found it on television there. There's a bunch of old console stuff there for a long time. And you can still kind of frequently buy stacks of old Xbox originals. That's about the oldest it gets without getting unreasonably costly. Old PS1s, old PS2s, no Dreamcasts. Everybody who wants a Dreamcast has a Dreamcast. I would love a Pioneer Laser Active though. You know, Laser Active didn't just play Laserdisc movies. It also played Sega CD games and also TurboGrafx CD. Like the drive was compatible with CD-ROMs somehow. So if you, which it shouldn't have been, because I think Laserdisc was analog, wasn't it? But I know for a fact from watching reviews, if I can trust them, that if you had the Sega module, it would support Sega CD games played through the drive. And likewise, I assume, I don't have as good data for this. Likewise with PC Engine CD games, if you had the PC Engine module. Yeah, that'd be my ideal system, is a PC Engine CD Laser Active. You would have been such a big dick baller if you had that back in the day. You would have been ahead of the game. You would have been playing 16-bit CD-based games with voice acting and cutscenes, and you could watch full movies. All for the low price of $10 billion fucking dollars in 1992 money, whenever it came out. Oh, this is... I need the special vacuum for that. Did the other guy get a C&D? I don't think he got a cease and desist for the Blinx remake. I think he says in the description, though, he's nervous about it. Unless I'm misremembering. Is there really not a medal down there? How can there not be a cat medal down there? There's really not a cat medal down there. Everything I know is a lie. Can I be a fedora for 5 seconds? Everybody who's a Christian bro I mean you no harm. But plug your ears for the next 15 seconds. I don't want you to hear this. Thinking back on my childhood and private religious education, it is, as an adult, wild to me that anyone ever believed that stuff, that we live in a fundamentally magic universe. It would be like truly believing that Bikini Bottom from SpongeBob exists somewhere in the ocean. And that's... or like Puff the Magic Dragon. I know that you've heard this before, but it really is the same kind of category in my mind. It's so humanistic. That's not the right word I want. It's something so indelibly marked with the fingerprints of human authorship, and not the strange alien nature of actual discoveries about the universe, like magnetars and pulsars and white holes and black holes. The fact that anyone could have ever believed that was the true nature of reality, that it was exactly like a storybook. It's an alien mindset. I mean, people, if someone's a good, sweet Christian like Fred Rogers or Bob Ross, they're a treasure. I absolutely don't mean to besmirch them in the least. I would prefer they stay the way they are. If their religion makes them that way, then it's also a treasure. It's just incomprehensible to me. Even though I was in the fold at one time, just not knowing any better, when I was a small child, and it was real to me then. But a lot of things were real to me. Magic was real to me then. I could be convinced of a lot of things. Sorry if you're religious. I don't mean any harm. I'm not expressing any judgments, just my own mindset and how it seems to me. Everybody has different experiences as they pass through life, different reality tunnels, as it were, different series of stimuli that leads them in different directions, into different conclusions, and that's fine. It's a beautiful part of what it means to be a human being. I just don't fucking understand. I used to understand it. It's very, very human. And if you want comfort primarily, it's a very comforting, cozy worldview. What up, people? Good timing. You missed my whole fedora rant. Although, I mean, I guess I'll continue it a little bit. If you found out that somebody at your workplace believes in Centurions, the 1980s cartoon with the toy line, like, not like believes that it existed as a TV show, but that the events depicted in it really transpired, wouldn't that be concerning? Even if it made them a better person, even if it gave them values like bravery and justice and loyalty, all of which are positive things, wouldn't you be like a little... wouldn't you look at them a little bit slant-eyed? That's not the right word, that sounded racist. You know, not like that. Like, you'd look at them sideways a little bit. Like, this guy's not living in the same reality I am. Do I need to watch him? Do I need to supervise him when he operates heavy machinery? Not because you dislike him, because that's an independent variable. Whether or not someone's kind. They can also use that to justify it, though. Like, I'm kind, therefore, what do you care about what I believe? It operates as kind of a shield. It makes me a better person. What's your objection to it? But increasingly, even irrespective of religion, with respect to politics and things, we're all increasingly living in separate realities that we tailor to our own tastes according to the algorithm. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, though? The algorithm makes it easier than ever to isolate yourself in a bubble world where you only see shit that agrees with what you want to be true. And it tailors it to whatever your specific worldview happens to be, and only further convinces you that you're right. Is he not coming back to life? Well, he's dead. What's the end result of that? A world where nobody agrees on what's real? Like, no two people? Can you have a nation where every individual has a significantly divergent reality? It's like the Tower of Babel, but instead of being separated by languages, we're separated by like mental models. No game, I will not hurt at the goal gate. I'm going to take my time and try to get more time crystals, which are not being doled out very generously at all, it turns out. This is a good map for farming gold, though. Holy shit. This is more than I get from bosses. Significantly more. Is it actually Asimov? Not Asimov. Ray Bradbury, maybe? There's a classic Golden Age sci-fi story about human astronauts landing on Mars, but every Martian... the Martians in the story are not technologically advanced. They're like at the same level we are somehow. But they don't have space travel, and they don't... every Martian has the ability to create convincing telepathic illusions with their mind. Well, it's considered bad manners and a faux pas to deceive other Martians with that ability. So when they land and they introduce themselves and say, we're from Earth, they get sent to a mental asylum because it's assumed that they're just Martians creating disguises of Earthmen, and that they're being very stubborn about it. Nobody will believe them because every Martian has the ability to, like, directly confound the senses of any other Martian. It's kind of the same thing. Like, it's a post-truth society where reality is only as firm as the public consensus of what's real, and cultural mores, manners about what you are willing to believe and what you're allowed to. You know what I mean? I'm not doing a very good job of conveying it. Surely that's the world we're moving into, though, where anybody can create a convincing illusion to deceive people, so nothing is trustworthy as reality anymore without extensive investigation, and then people only trust their own sources on which illusions are real. What's the good news, Tom? Oh, I fucking almost have enough. Let me grind that again. I want that special vacuum. Yeah, we're getting a lot of new people tonight. Where are they all coming from? Not that I'm complaining. Oh, hot damn! That's cause for celebration. Grad school, wow. What kind of scientist are you trying to be? The bonerologist? Solve the mysteries of the human boner? Like why I get a boner watching The Muppet Show? Not really. That'd be funny if it was true, though. I've never seen Muppets sexualized. I'm scared to look now. Physics, cool. I was just talking earlier about how physics was abstract to the American public until the atom bomb. made it real and showed them what it could do. A physicist is the closest thing to a real life wizard. I'm gonna get political for a second. You know what the world could use is a gender Richard Dawkins, if that makes sense. Richard Dawkins is the Richard Dawkins of religion. He's a qualified scientist in the field that nobody can cast aspersions on his qualifications. And he was willing to speak out against religion despite the potential consequences. We need someone, a biologist, to do that, basically. Not just to be a dickhead. Because I know it's an emotionally charged issue for a lot of people, but it's also one where a lot of people are lying about it and we need someone to publicly set them straight who's willing to suffer all the blowback. Including potentially assassination attempts. That's the true bonerologist. Who's inside you all along. That's kind of what Dawkins is trying to be, but no one takes him as seriously anymore because he's getting old. He's been saying a lot of wacky stuff. Here we go. Finally! How long did it take to get these fucking records? It's really stingy with the records. I only get to keep these if I beat the level 2. Three, four, five. I don't have any more holders. If I get any more time crystals, it's going to right over the ones I have. He says Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. Please, no offense to anybody who is trans in chat. You're welcome here. I cherish you. We have a difference of opinion about biology, though, and I prioritize truth before morality, which is not the default. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn, that most people prioritize morality before truth. Or assume that no conflict can possibly exist between the two. My position is that you can't know what's true. You can't know what's moral if you don't first know what's true. It's I want to say 8 levels, but you have to grind the same levels a couple times in order to get the money and time crystals you need to pass specific parts of specific levels. If you hear all that and say, this guy's a transphobe, this guy hates me, that's your prerogative. I'm not going to try to argue you out of it. I don't feel any hate in my heart for you. You can be my enemy, but I won't be yours. It's just an issue that I don't see eye to eye with the current popular culture on. Maybe I never will until I'm forced to in order to have a career as a writer. Which won't be very long now. Then I'll do an abrupt 180 and say that I had a come to Jesus moment. Although probably they'll require me to transition to believe that. That's fine, I look touching enough in a way. There's always some group strong-arming you trying to force you to join them, or at least bend the knee. If it's not one of them, it's another. That's true. They are really, really good at making games. They fill a need in society. Wonder why that is. Maybe it's just being terminally online. What do I have now? I have 4,117. I can afford the Super Giga Chad. They don't sell it here. Why would I think that they would? According to the video review, you get no real benefit except for extra damage from the fire or ice. You get elemental damage from the fire or ice vacuums, which might be good to fight those fire monsters that are a pain in the ass. But what I really need is to clear those weights. Now let's go back and get those cat medals. This is quite like Mario Sunshine. Remember how in Sunshine you get to a certain stage in the game and eventually you hit a wall where you have to go back and start collecting blue coins to stretch the game out? This is very much the same kind of thing. I gotta show you guys something that's really cute. You're gonna like this. You'd better like it. I'm kidding. It's a new robot. It rides around in your pocket and answers questions. Basically, it's just a really cute looking interface for ChatGPT. Remember in Chobits, there was like that little tiny action figure sized anime girl robot who rode around on that one person's shoulder? Yeah, we've seen this. It's the same render. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is the money shot. This is the use case. He rides around with you. And he can look around. He can do facial recognition, object recognition. So he knows what he's looking at. You can hold stuff up for him to look at, and he'll identify it for you, tell you things about it. I don't need it. It's like 180 bucks, which is actually not expensive because there's not that many motors in it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I didn't need the Atari either, but I still bought that fucking shit. I don't need it. 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 Stop saying he's cute. He is cute, but I don't need it. He's like a pocket hamster. But he's smart. I don't need it. Short Talk, tell me I don't need it. It's an emergency. Oh wow, this is much faster too. There we go. That doesn't seem physically possible, but I'm not going to complain. Didn't Yuji Naka also make Balan Wonderworld? Wait, it wasn't him who made this, was it? It was Artoon and some former Sega employees. So it wasn't. This isn't. I don't think it. Is this a Yuji Naka game? Hang on, I have to know. He did work on Blinx the Time Sweeper. I don't. You're right. I don't have an emergency fund funded. I have crypto, which I'm getting ready to sell because it's going up again. And I swore to myself and made a promise that as soon as I could recoup what I had when I bought back in, I would cash it all out and never look back. So that's priority one, is cash out crypto, put it in a Roth. We agreed on this earlier. I promise. I listen to your advice, Short Talk, I do. We've got enough shit already. It's such a cute robot. It's such a cute robot, but I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. That's what I should have done in 2017 when Steam it blew up, is put all the money into Roth after paying off my student loans, but I'm stupid. And I had irrational exuberance that the money would never stop flowing. There was a while there I was making like $1,000 a day. It didn't last very long. That's what it must feel like to be a successful YouTuber all the time. Not only does Roth evade taxes, it's not taxable, it also goes up over time. I'm gonna do it. Short Talk's gonna help me. I'm fucking 40 and I don't have any... My only savings are crypto. I'm stupid and have mismanaged my whole life. What have I been doing until now? I guess I didn't expect to live this long, not to be dark about it. Not to be a downer, but for a long time there I thought I wasn't gonna be around much longer. So I didn't see any point to planning for a future that wasn't gonna have me in it. Then I ate acid and it threw a wrench into everything. Don't eat acid if you want to kill yourself. It'll stop you. That really fucked up my plans. Prolonging my life beyond what I had budgeted for. I doubt it. But thinking about what it would do to my family convinced me I'm not gonna perish by my own hand. Because it's the most selfish thing you can do, is to hurt everybody else on your way out and not care about it because you're not around to see it. That's way more playable now that the vacuum is fast. Holy crap. Wish I'd done this sooner. How'd I get this old without learning basic shit like that? Oh yeah, I already answered the question. That's a poisonous perspective that stops you from really living your life. You don't really start living until you believe that there's a future. I actually wrote something about dementia recently. Hang on, I'm going to quote my own writing because I'm a huge fucking quivering narcissist. I think it's poignant. This is a scene that takes place in the nursing home. Inside, a bunch of feeble, baffled-looking geezers play bingo. As I watch, a goblin-esque woman with a bald spot and horn-rimmed glasses shouts, "Bingo!" An orderly comes over to check her card. She didn't have a bingo. A minute later, she shouts bingo again, perhaps not understanding the particulars of the win condition. Eventually, the orderly stops checking her card and just lets her tire herself out. She's the lucky one, though not at bingo. An air of quiet misery pervades this place, which she and a blessed few others like her have escaped by way of dementia. How could she lament the loss of the sunlit world of her youth when she cannot even remember yesterday? Neither can she despair that there isn't a future. As her remaining years dwindle, the duration of the memory loop her awareness is confined to will steadily shrink to nothing. Merciful catatonia, at last residing in an eternal, unchanging now. Nearby wheelchair vegetables, parked in the corners of the room, stare wordlessly out the windows in placid bliss. They've long since realized the dream, to live entirely within a single perfect moment that never seems to end. That's the scary thing for me, because everybody I've ever known with dementia had a time limit after which their memory would loop. But it shrinks as they get older and their brain deteriorates. And I've long puzzled over what the subjective experience is like when that interval shrinks to 0 seconds. Is it just an eternity? No, we're not supposed to be looking at BRB anymore. I was just doing a reading of an excerpt from... It's an old folks' home, in a world where the sun has gone out. Everyone lives in darkness, and the earth is haunted by inscrutable phantoms resembling people who have disappeared. There's a lot of Kino horror about dementia, like that one Doom level that's meant to simulate it, or that one album or something or other at the end of time. Caretaker at the end of time, which just simulates the slow degradation of memory by the degradation of the music as it drones on. That's merciful, to die before it gets bad instead of being distorted into a mockery of who you once were. Wouldn't it suck though if you electively went into the sarcopod like 1 week before the singularity made immortality possible? Yeah, it's random what they remember and what they don't. But that's one of the things that scares me genuinely. Alzheimer's and dementia. When I was young, I was frightened by childish things like vampires and sewer mutants. And as I got older, I was scared by more realistic but still fantastical things like home invaders. Or I guess mass shooters are a reasonable fear. But then as an adult, if I can be categorized as one, I fear dementia. I fear cancer. I fear losing people close to me in really slow, grotesque ways. I do mind getting older. I don't want to. I had everything was more fun when I was younger and was more fit, which is why I'm trying to get in shape again. I don't think it's age related as much. You don't have to lose fitness as you get old up to a point. Kids are just kind of naturally fit because they haven't had a chance to get unfit yet. Unless you raise them on a diet of seed oils and corn syrup. So when you're a kid, you have all this energy because you have a mostly fully developed heart and brain, but inside a smaller body that doesn't need all that power. It's overpowered. As an adult, if you want to retain that level of energy, you have to work out. Yeah, no, my dad doesn't seem to diminish with age. His hair gets gray, but he's still very powerful. He's still a very muscular guy. So he has no trouble getting around. I think because he was fat much of his life, and being fat, you have to get muscular, whether you want to or not, in order to carry your own body. He has no trouble. His mobility is not inhibited in the least. My mother, on the other hand, is kind of unraveling as I watch, and it's really painful. She looks like the Crypt Keeper, and she can barely move. She needs help to get up and down stairs. I hate it. I hate it. It makes me feel awful. Incredibly bleak. But there's nothing I can do to stop it. We tried to get her to swim. Swimming is good exercise. But by the time she doesn't really... It's hard to describe. She's kind of passive-aggressive, disobedient. She'll agree to anything, but she won't actually do it if she doesn't want to. But she doesn't want to have an argument about it, so she'll be like, yeah, I'll swim. And then she'll just not do it. But she also can't really learn anything new. I bought her a heated jacket one year, and she didn't use it because she used it until the battery drained, and then she didn't charge it because the concept of charging anything other than her phone is alien to her. I also got her a electric kettle thermos that you can make tea in, and she also couldn't learn that because, again, the only thing she's willing to learn how to charge is her dopamine machine, aka her phone, because that's where all her puzzle games are. She's one of those boomers who's completely in the thrall of colorful block puzzle games like Bejeweled and whatnot, and Cookie Clicker. And that's what she does 90% of her waking hours, is just play puzzle games. How am I supposed to make this? Oh, it needs to be sped up. Need time crystals for that. Alright, well now that I know that, I can go through the stage looking for speed ups. Boomers are not okay. A lot of them were really stable for most of their lives, but from stories I'm hearing from friends, people I know online, they go down a couple of dark roads after a certain age when they realize their time is dwindling. Some of them get super fucking religious and far right out of fear. Some of them just go crazy. They get into this like light work, healing, Galactic Federation of Light, Nasara, Gesara, anti-vax, QAnon stuff. They want to still feel relevant and still feel like they have power to shape society. Like they're in on some grand conspiracy and they can still be a hero. I think it's part of the appeal of it. A lot of them are shockingly narcissistic and badly behaved, though, and childish. Specifically childish. When they didn't show any sign of that while they were raising their kids, they were... Some of them did, but some of them... the fear of their own mortality brings it out of them. A childish 60 or 70-year-old is a really grotesque thing. When they just behave in a nasty, mean way. Well, that's where you're supposed to get that from. Someone older than you behaving less maturely is unsightly. I didn't hit the pig with that? How the fuck did that... Is that gonna happen to us? Are we at some stage gonna be like, oh shit, we're dying, time to completely disregard the social contract and become terrible people? I think a lot of these people had these views all along, but they figured they were going to live forever. So something would be done about it eventually. Like diversity, and they thought, now they're thinking, oh shit, I'm actually dying. There has to be a race war within like the next 10 years or I won't see it. We've got to get rid of these atheists while I'm still around to make sure that it happens. It is gibberish, alright. That's slow. I wasted it. So it actually does serve a purpose. I do think it's also a third factor, is that they've been responsible for their whole lives. Now they figure that there's no point anymore, since they're not going to be around much longer, so they can afford to be reckless. That's why a lot of them give all their money to grifters, or invest their money into dubious enterprises late in life, trying to make some kind of big difference before they go out. Yeah. You know exactly what I'm talking about. At some age, they just kind of lose their minds, having burned themselves out, being responsible and making good choices for decades. And they're like, you know what? I can be a little bit insane now as a treat. I can do terrible, crazy, selfish things now because I've earned it. Surely that'll be us, even if we don't think it will be. Like how we had the assumption that we would not be as tech illiterate as our parents because we grew up with tech. There's going to be tech we don't understand, and this AI shit just proves it. I think it's probably as old as time, each generation thinking I'm going to age more gracefully and be less clueless than my parents. Yeah, same. Wish I got a start on providing my own upper middle class life sooner. I kind of bet everything on writing, and now I either have to succeed or the rest of my life will be a hell of poverty. I've got a lot of friends who would support me, but that's not really different than relying on my parents. That's much of the country living on debt, Short Talk. They've got us all in the debt trap. I had a chance to get out of it with Steam It, but somehow I didn't think of that. You're talking to somebody who forgot that he owed tax money and used that money to move to North Portland once. And it completely took me by fucking surprise when the tax bill came due and I had to agree to a payment plan. Well, thank you, Tom. I believe in you too. You're gonna invent some awesome new weapon that's gonna kill everybody. It's gonna be great. I think we got all the medals, all but one from here. I don't know where that one is in stage 2. Let's try to find it. This is gonna be the last run of the night. I'm looking specifically for a cat medal that I bypassed. You know where I bet it is? Is that it? Is that the one I don't have? I feel like I've got that one at some point. Wait, if that's not how you get up there... Oh, did you have badly behaved parents, Butterbeer? I had mostly stable, responsible parents. I took that completely for granted. I thought that was what all adults were like. I bet you do, Upheaval. You're the true Blinx master here. Realize there's a time delay, though, to this stream, so I might not... Here it is. I already got this one, though. Already had this one. Why don't you give me some clues? Hum a few bars. Don't say, like, go this way, go that way, because like I said, the delay will make that unusable. That's when all the shit unravels. Oh, hey, what's this? Oh, there it is. I happened to find it by chance. Yes, I got the rewind one. This is still as magic as when I first played it. I wish there were still gimmicky platformers like this coming out. Back when every game system needed a platformer to show off its unique features at or close to launch. The Mario of the system. Nobody does that anymore. Platformers are dead because Yooka-Laylee fucking double killed them. If they were dead before, Yooka-Laylee drove a stake through their heart and prevented them from coming back as vampires. Even though they don't need to die, there's been great ones since then. There's like been Demon Turf, there's been A Hat in Time. And one or two more I forgot, but I have them on Steam. They're all coming out on PC for some reason. Astrobot was great on PS5. Everybody wanted a full Astrobot game instead of just having it be a demo that teaches you the features of the console, which is exactly what I called for 5 seconds ago. I guess I'm a hypocrite. This is exactly what I asked for. There's a certain joy to it, though, playing a familiar genre but on a new system where new things are possible that defy your understanding of what can be done in the game. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh, Short Talk. It's just unbelievably even worse than I thought it could be. It just keeps getting worse the more you talk. Pour one out tonight for people who had irresponsible parents. That's a unique hell to deal with, especially before you're old enough to understand that what they're doing is irresponsible. When you're a kid, you think that your parents have it all figured out and that they know everything and they're infallible. And some learn that's not true earlier than others, depending on how bad it is. Well, I'll check the Discord in a second, but I have to wrap things up because it's 11 o'clock. I had a great time. Lots of Blinx the Time Sweeper and nothing else besides the fan game. I'm going to scrape Itch.io. I know that sounds gross. Scrape and itchy don't belong in the same sentence. But I'm going to scrape Itch.io for new horror games for next time. I want a little bit more variety in my streams. I'm not a single game streamer for the most part. It's an exception to the rule when I have a single game stream, even somewhat. I'm going to see if there's any good quality spooper jank. Some new shitty spoops for us to scream and laugh at alternatingly, and I'm going to have those ready for you, fingers crossed. Admonish me if I don't, by, I want to say Friday. Yeah, Friday is the next time.